In the hospital, MJ fell asleep on the couch while Peter talks to Aunt May. The other day, we transfused some of my blood into you, and I think it'll give you a fighting chance. I don't think it'll make you sprout 8 arms and legs, but well, you never know, right? Don't look at me like that, it's just a joke. You're not gonna sprout 8 arms and legs. He yaps up a storm like she can hear him, but she's still in that coma. In the morning, a doctor comes in and MJ is wondering if the doctor sees any changes in Aunt May's condition. At first glance, her cheeks look a little bit different, but other than that, I can't really tell anything right now. We'll see what the blood test shows. After they run the test, the doctor has the results on her table. So using a web, Peter snatches it out of her room. He takes a look at it and the results are not good. That blood transfusion didn't do jack shit. Aunt May must have built up a resistance or immunity to his blood, so it was useless. Peter doesn't have no plan B. He doesn't know what the next step is. And just to make shit worse, a pastor shows up and he's talking about arrangements for a funeral. This type of talk got Peter sad as hell. Meanwhile, at the police station, the lieutenant hands a cop a folder about an old lady that suffered a gunshot wound. It's a gunshot wound without any type of police report. No 911 call, nothing. Hospital called it in per policy on gunshots. Brought in by her niece? According to the report, yeah. So unless the old lady was cleaning out a gun when it went off, if the niece brought her in but didn't want police poking around, then maybe she or somebody she knows did something. Maybe an accident, maybe deliberate, who knows? They're also paying for her to stay in cash, which means they're definitely hiding something. Either way, it's your problem now. The cops are getting suspicious. Back at the hospital, Peter is pissed off that pastor came in here. Do you believe that guy? Peter, he's a vulture. And believe me, I should know. I fought vultures before. Peter, we have to keep it a buck. This might be a question we need to answer if Aunt May passes away. No. What would she want us to do? What kind of service? You had a whole lifetime of knowing her, Peter. When it comes to a service, what did she believe in the most? What did she believe in? Really? She believed in me, and that belief may have cost her life, MJ. How do I live with myself if that's true? Downstairs in the hospital, that cop showed up on some detective-type timing, looking like Aiden Pierce from Watch Dogs. He talks to Aunt May's nurse, trying to get some information. She lets him know that Aunt May didn't have an ID, just a birth certificate. And that's not the only weird thing. We've been tracking her vitals since she got in, and in the last 48 hours, there's been a change in her blood report. I had to get a second one because the first one conveniently disappeared. Okay, interesting. Keep talking. We detected traces of radiation in her system, and that wasn't here when she first arrived. Radiation? And something the lab can only identify as a variant of spider venom. The niece, Mary, has been with her almost non-stop since she was admitted. Who knows what she's been doing in there when nobody's looking? She's supposed to have a boyfriend or a husband, but nobody's seen him once. You want to know what I think happened? And that nurse got a whole theory that MJ's boyfriend shot Aunt May. And while MJ and her boyfriend decide what to do next with Aunt May, she somehow escapes the scene and drives to the hospital. But this boyfriend figured it out and he's on the way to finish the job. And when he tries to grab her, the gun goes off, shooting the window, scaring him, so he flees. And the nurse says that's when she finds Aunt May on the bed. The cop like, okay, that's possible. She basically thinks MJ and Peter are trying to kill Aunt May. The cop has heard enough, he like, say less. Is she here right now? Yup, room 430, end of the hall. Thanks. Peter's in the room thinking, okay, if the transfusion didn't work and medicine doesn't work, there has to be another way to. But then his spidey sense starts going off. Peter, what is it? Trouble, it's the cop, Miss Mary Riley, Lieutenant Detective Robert DeLint. And I have a few questions. This isn't a good time. I need to stay here, and staying here is out the question, ma'am. You may in fact be a part of the problem. I'm afraid you're gonna have to come with me. And he goes to grab MJ. Ma'am, we can do this one of 2 ways, with handcuffs or without. And I don't have any. The lights go off and the place is dark as hell now. What the? Lights are off, but the equipment is still working. Somebody wants it dark. Stay here, ma'am. Sorry, but I have to do this. And he cuffs her to the door. Let her go. Police, whoever you are, I'm ordering you to get on the floor. No. Get on the floor right now. I'm not gonna tell you again. You got that right. And Peter jumps at the cop, so the cop fires a shot. But Peter's too quick and he rocks him in the face, knocking his ass out in one punch. Oh my God, Peter. He's not dead. He's just unconscious. Peter, you assaulted a police officer. You knocked him out. I know. Peter thinks to himself like, damn, I'm becoming a criminal. Until now, when they said I was a criminal, I knew they were wrong. But now, for the first time, I am all those things, and there's nothing I can do about it. Okay, MJ, we have to move fast and get Aunt May out of here pronto. But don't argue. Get downstairs and outside. I'll call on the cell when we're ready to move. Now go. I'll buy some time. MJ dips up out of there, and he ties up the detective. Then Peter starts naming all the felonies he's committing. Felony count number 1, failing to file a police report on a gunshot wound. Count number 2, assaulting a police officer. Count number 3, wrongful imprisonment. Count number 4, fleeing the scene of a crime. We then see 2 officers in Steak and Shake eating a burger, having a good time. But in the background, their Ambulam truck disappears. They have no clue that Peter just finessed it. Count number 5, Grand Theft Auto. He calls up MJ to let her know the new plan. Count number 6, breaking and entering. He breaks into the equipment room of a hospital and puts on their gear and lets MJ know that he's all set. In disguise as a nurse, he heads to Aunt May's room while MJ is downstairs stealing a paper for a patient transfer. So Peter puts MJ on the new bed and rolls her out the hospital. Felony count number 7, reckless endangerment. He puts her in the back of the Ambulam truck and hooks her up to the machine so she gets all the medical attention she needs. After he does that, he steps on the gas and heads to another hospital. This hospital isn't as top tier as the old one. Patients are all over the lobby. This shit might be in the trenches. Peter talks to the receptionist about the patient transfer. She looks at the paper and Aunt May is approved. Count number 8 and 9, forgery, and fraud. They're all good to go now. So they bring Aunt May to the hospital and she gets put in a room with all these other old ladies looking like they're gonna die soon. Rest now. You had a busy day. The mission is accomplished, but at what cost? MJ starts crying. I don't mean to be scared, Pete, but I keep wondering, what's happening to us? What's gonna happen to us? And where is this all going to end? I don't know, MJ. I just know we can't stop fighting. Not for her. Not for us. Not now. Not ever. I have to get going. Have to drop the ambulance off somewhere clear on the other side of town. Make sure nobody can track it back to this place, at least for a while. And then we'll think of something else. As Peter walks out, he just thinks to himself. 9 felony counts. 10-year minimum per charge. Equals a 90-year prison term. Possibly life imprisonment. He stands outside looking at the sky, knowing he's in a cooked position. 9 felony counts. Not committed by someone in a mask that can't be tracked down. Not committed by Spider-Man. 9 felony counts committed by me, with my fingerprints all over everything. Me, Peter Parker. I can't say it was a trap or a frame-up or an anti-registration technicality or anything else. I committed those crimes. I have become the very thing I set out to fight. A criminal. All my life, I had nightmares about being accused of a crime and being sent to jail. And now, I'm trapped in that nightmare. Only this time, it's real. It's real. I'm lost. God, help me. I'm so lost. Damn, man. Peter doesn't know what to do next. I feel bad for bro. All this because he took off that damn mask. Iron Man. But anyways, this is the end of Spider-Man Back in Black. Y'all showed a lot of love on this series, so I appreciate y'all for watching. If y'all want me to, I'll read One More Day next. It's not that long at all. It shows us the conclusion of what happens to Aunt May. I appreciate y'all boys for watching. Follow my Instagram, tap into my YouTube channel, and also join the Discord if you like anime, comics, games, shit like that. But on that note, I'm gonna see y'all boys and girls next time.